On to the Peach Bowl, first game on New Year's Day in the college football playoff. Second matchup we're discussing here, Texas up to a 12-point favorite, or I guess down to a 12-point favorite against Arizona State, total of 51. This line was around 2 touchdowns, but it's climbed down a bit, so seemingly some sharp money has come in on the Sun Devils, the Big 12 champion. If you look at Ewers, Texas quarterback that has been much maligned throughout the season, 5 turnover-worthy plays in consecutive games against Texas A&M and Georgia to wrap up the season ahead of the college football playoff. Played well to an extent. Interception to me wasn't really on him against Clemson in the opening round of the college football playoff. Then if you look at the defense and the defensive front in particular for Texas, the Longhorns rank 7th in the country in EPA allowed per carry, and EPA allowed on early downs, they rank 9th. So this is a defense that is set up to stop the run, and similar to the Penn State matchup against Boise State, they're going up against a run-centric Arizona State offense that is without its best receiver in Tyson, and I don't really trust Arizona State through the air in this matchup if they get down, similar to your handicap with Boise State and Penn State. So is this another game where you're looking to maybe lay an alternate point spread with the favorite, or how are you approaching it?
Yeah, these are, I don't want to say carbon copies, but very, very similar matchups. One, I go back to the trench thing. I think Texas is going to have a significant advantage in the trenches. I do think Arizona could see some rushing success on offense. Obviously everybody knows about Cam Skattebo. He's awesome, and I do think there could be something there. But I don't love, on the flip side, I don't love the matchup for Arizona State's defense. Their numbers aren't exactly exciting you going into a game where they're playing up in a level of competition compared to most of the Big 12 that they played this year. And I know Ewers is inconsistent, I think is the best way to put him. There's some throws where you're like, yeah, that could be the first overall pick in the draft. And then there's some throws like, what just happened here? But Steve Sarkisian is going to know, great play caller, great offensive scheme. He's going to know how to attack this Sun Devil defense. So same thing though. If Arizona State gets down, I don't if they have to abandon the pass, do they abandon the run? Do they abandon it too early? I again sit here and like the Texas alternate spreads out there, just similar to the Penn State game, because when you're a rush centric team, and when you have to rely on that, when that gets taken away because you're losing, your defense didn't get stops or whatnot, can you shift gears and throw the ball well enough? And I have concerns there. So again, Texas, similar thing here. This is below 14 now, so in that 16.5 range, I think is where I'd be targeting this one.
If you look at the alternate spreads, similar thought process here, as you mentioned. Minus 16.5 is plus 140 at Bet365. Under 21 points, so minus 20.5 is plus 225. So a little bit worse of a price than Penn State, but still relatively solid number and right alongside the Penn State number, maybe just a 15-cent difference or so. Question for you about rushing props, because Bet365 doesn't have those out, but would you consider going under the rushing yards for Skattebo and Genty respectively over the last 2 games we discussed?
I'd probably be more inclined to go under on Genty than Skattebo. I think there is, like I said, I think there is a path to some success for Arizona State on the ground, more so than Boise, because I just think there's one. I think Penn State's defense is better than Texas's, just in my numbers, and I think that's where I kind of see it as like, okay, maybe there is a path to success early for Arizona State. I think Penn State's selling out on Genty, so I'd rather go there. And then also on that with Texas, I think Texas has a better chance of putting points on Arizona State more so than Penn State. I think Texas's offense better than Penn State's. Do they have to abandon? Is Skattebo gonna be abandoned early? So it makes it a little bit tougher there. But I'd rather go under Genty there than Skattebo.
And if you're looking at any of those props when they're released at Bet365 or any of the alternate point spreads that we discussed, Remember, with the Bet365 early payout offer, you're a winner if your team goes up by 17 or more points. Key number in the sense of the number we just hit on, with the instant payout on straight bets and parlay selections marked as winners. Download the Bet365 app and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Use promo code THELINES, that's the lines one word, when you sign up to receive $150 in bonus bets with your first $5 bet, win or lose. So with this promotion, if you bet, let's say Penn State on the point spread and they go up by 17, you win your bet. Same deal with Texas. You don't necessarily need to take that alt spread of minus 16.5. Just food for thought with these first two games and with the Bet365 early payout offer.